Alright, what's up guys? Back at it again with another tutorial. And today we're inside today because it's I don't know if you can see that right there, but this is 108 degrees, so you know, obviously can't go outside. So yeah, and I'm here to teach you guys how to do late goon. So those three were just some of the many variations of late goon that there is out there, but the easiest variation in my opinion is the first one, which is the airplane one turn swap down spike to late goon. So late goon has been around in the Kendama community for quite some time now. To my knowledge, it originated around 2017 when Ben Harold released his summer research portfolio video, and after that video release, that's when a lot of Kendama players started to experiment with that concept a lot more, and that's when it started to gain a lot more popularity among Kendama players. So I recommend two things before you try to land this concept. Number one, make sure that you have Goon Circle or Fast Moon Circle down pat. And two, I recommend using a large space just so that one, no fragile items are broken, and two, I believe that you are going to drop your Dama a lot while trying to land this concept, so it's just a lot more space to drop your Dama, and you know, it's going to get flown around and stuff like that. So for this version of late goon, I like to think of it as three different parts. So you're going to start off from airplane, and the first part is the flip, the second part is the Tama going back this way, and the third part is the toss to the late goon. So when starting out learning this concept, what I recommend is mastering the first two parts first, so the flip and the toss backwards. At first it might seem a little weird, like when I started first learning this, the motion seemed really counterintuitive, but the more you do it, the more you get used to the motion. And this is one of the most important parts of doing this version of late goon, is making sure that your Dama is horizontal at the point when you're ready to toss it to late goon, because otherwise, if it's like down here or like, you know, anywhere lower, it's not going to be a late goon. It's going to look something like this. So that version of the trick isn't late goon, it's a regular goon at that point, but it still looks pretty cool, but it's not quite the result that we're looking for right now. And another tip for mastering the first two parts is making sure that the higher that the Tama goes, the more room that you have to toss the Ken into a late goon. So one of the biggest mistakes I see in doing the flip to late goon is seeing people doing too much swing, and at that point it just becomes a regular goon. And what I like to think of it, I like to think of it as a kind of like a clock. So you want to flip the Ken to late goon around the 3 o'clock to the 1 o'clock area. Around here is the most optimal point to toss it to late goon, because otherwise past like 12 o'clock, then it becomes just a regular goon at that point. And you don't want to worry about catching the late goon to spike, you just want to worry about catching it to Ken grip first, and breaking down all three parts and make sure that you're doing each part correctly. So make sure that you're doing the flip, the Tama toss backwards, making sure that it's horizontal, and doing the late goon in the acceptable range. And for me personally, the technique that I like to use to get the Ken to the late goon motion is doing kind of like a controlled slap, but some people like Liam Router and Alex Mitchell, they're able to do a controlled grab to late goon. And it's just a matter of finding out what the best technique is for you, and for me that is a controlled slap, so you can experiment however you want. So once you've gotten all three parts down pretty good, you're ready to catch the late goon to spike. And at first it might seem a little hard to track the Tama onto the spike, but the more you do this variation of late goon, the more you're able to track the Tama more and more until you're able to spike it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I had a lot of fun making it, and I can't wait to see a lot more people landing late goons. And I just wanted to say special shout out to Ben Harold for, you know, inspiring me to make this tutorial. and you know, without him I wouldn't be able to make this tutorial for you guys, or you know, be able to do this trick at all. So make sure you go, you know, give him a follow and give him, you know, heads up, say like, oh, Kelvin sent you here. So yeah, thanks guys.